Succeeding on Upwork with no investment is not that hard. In this video, I'm going to share with you the best strategy to find jobs for free, 100% free on Upwork. I'm going to go through the process step by step with you. You don't need to buy Connects on Upwork to succeed. You don't need to pay for the premium membership. The strategy I'm about to share with you is some powerful stuff. And if you follow step by step, you're going to see it's not that hard. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is you want to make sure that you have a decent Upwork profile. So what you want to do first, before you implement this strategy, you want to make sure that your profile looks decent. You know, this profile is just an example that I've built quickly when I made a video on how to build a profile fast. So don't use it as an example. But I did make a video on how to optimize profiles, and I'm going to put a link to it in the description, and you should check it out to see how to build a good profile. So once you have a good profile, what you want to do is you want to use the navigation bar at the top of the page. You see there's this find word text in green. When you hover over it, it's going to open this quick menu. You're going to click on your services. What you will also do is open new tabs on Upwork. And so what I'm going to do, just one other new tab, and I'm going to go on to that new tab, and I'm going to search for projects. Projects are one of the different ways that you can use to find jobs on Upwork. It is the only way, as far as I know, that you can use on Upwork 100% for free. As much as you want. It doesn't cost Connects. So we're going to use projects, but the right way, so that we can find a lot of jobs and be successful with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out really quickly what is working right now in the projects of other people. So I'm going to figure out, like, who are the people who are actually succeeding at selling the sort of things that I want to sell, and why are they succeeding? How are they succeeding? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that information to create a project of my own that is going to be based on things that are already working in the market. So I'm going to do this very simply. I'm going to pretend that I am a logo graphic designer who builds logos. And the reason I want to do that is that everyone knows what a logo is. Everyone can understand what building a logo is. It's not complicated, but you can use this process to do whatever you're doing on Upwork, and just follow the process as I'm doing and analyze what's working in your niche and use what you learn to make good projects. And as you're going to see, it's going to be very easy. We're not going to try to do some deep analysis. What we're going to do is actually model what works, which is much easier. So you want to search for a logo, and you want to make sure that you click on the option bar on the navigation bar, and you click on projects, so that we don't search for jobs, we don't search for freelancers, we search for projects. So you're going to write whatever you're doing. For me, I'm going to write logo. So okay, so what we're going to see is a lot of projects that are available, and maybe logo is a bit too broad. It's going to be difficult to find jobs in just like logo. So ideally, we're going to try to find something more niche. So what I'm going to write is maybe like minimalist logo. Minimalist logo design. Let's see if it's still too competitive. Minimalist logo design. 35,000 projects. Okay, so it's still quite competitive. So let's say all of them are saying modern. Maybe there's another keyword I can use. Creative seems interesting and more rare than modern. I'm going to write the keyword creative. So I'm going to go with minimalist creative logo design, and you just go through the process trying to find keywords so that you find a niche that isn't too crowded. So already we're at 11,000 projects, which is much easier. Obviously logos is the simplest thing possible for graphic designers, so it's going to be something that's very competitive, but other types of projects are going to be a lot less competitive. So let's do minimalist creative logo design. What if I can do something like for gym, maybe not for. Is there a niche for that? Is there people looking for that? Okay, there's 91 projects, which is a small niche. How successful are they? Let's try to look quickly if there's actually demand for that by looking at how successful it looks like these projects are. So 124 reviews. This person is actually successful. Do they have different projects, or are they just getting success with this gym design project? Let's see their project catalog, which is displayed right under the description on their profile. Landscape logo for your business. Okay, so they do get sports logos, sports. Yeah, there is some market for sports logos. Let's try to see, maybe I can do, instead of gym, I'm just going to write sport. And let's see if I'm going to find something. It's broader than gyms. Oh, 29 for sports, but this guy was making a lot of projects for sports. So it tells me that there's market for people looking for logo design for sports, but there's not a lot of competition. So maybe I found a really good niche to focus on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that niche and try to build some project for that. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, one of the things is I have not a lot of competition, so it's a good niche to follow. However, there's not a lot of successful people who are wildly successful in that niche. So if we want to find what works in selling a logo design on Upwork when it comes to project catalog, I'm actually going to look more at what other people are doing in the space of more general logo design. So I'm going to start by just... maybe it's the fact that I'm like at minimalist creative logo design for sport. Maybe just like minimalist logo design sport is going to give me more people to analyze. Like 7, it's still a small niche, but the other guy was succeeding doing that. So I'm pretty sure it could be something that we could sell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by opening project catalog. The first tab we open by looking at find work, your services, takes us to this page. So I'm going to create a project. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to open these pages simultaneously, side by side, so that we can start doing our research at the same time that we're doing the project. So I'm going to click at the top left here on create a project. Very simple. So, oh no, I need computer size or tablet size. Damn it. They don't want me to do my research. So let's see if I can. Okay, I'm just going to flip back and forth like this so that we can open these tabs easily and do our research at the same time. Okay, that's going to be how it's done. So title. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for what are the keywords that are used in logo design for sports, but I'm going to look at the structure for generic logo design, and what I'm going to try and find is the most successful people selling logo design. So I'm just going to open project catalog again. So I'm going to use the search bar, search for project. I'm going to just look at logo design. So we need to find people who are wildly successful. See, here you see there's some people who have sold like 3,000 projects and 2,500. So maybe there's some search function that I can use to make sure I get like the most successful people. But maybe just trying to find like using that metric is a good thing I can use for my estimate. So I'm going to find about like 5 different successful people to model, and I'm going to open them. Maybe my category is going to be I need to find 5 people who have at least 2,000 projects sold, and maybe like a 5-star-ish review. Maybe that's the metric I'm going to try to find, because some niche, you're going to find people do less projects because logo design is a quick niche. So I'm not saying you should do like 2,000 plus project completed as a metric for whatever you're doing. Like obviously you have to be specific to what you are actually selling to see which people are looking to be the most successful in selling their services in that niche. So it doesn't look like there's a lot of people who have made like 3,000 sales. So maybe I'm just going to open some who have like 1,500. Still really successful. Like let's be real. And yeah, let's open another one. Let's say I'm just going to open this one. All right. So now I have a bunch of different projects I can analyze. So let's put that back right here at the right. So first we need to find a project title. So what I'm going to look at is all the different projects that I've opened and see if there's some sort of commonality in the way that they build their project titles. So all project titles start with "you will get" and something. So as I see, this person has a lot of keyword stuffing in their titles. So it's not a natural phrase. It's just like logo design, logo designer. Like it's a phrase that's designed clearly for the algorithm, not for the person reading this. So it's interesting. This person is doing the exact same thing. This person is doing the exact same thing. This person is doing similar things. So we're figuring out really quickly that this is the sort of title that seemed to be working in that niche. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to switch the keywords modern with whatever keywords that I'm using. So let's see, like the keywords I was using was like sports and minimalist. So maybe I'm gonna write like something similar to this. So this guy's saying you will get logo. I'm gonna say you will get logo design. I think that was like what he was saying. He writes logo design twice. That's curious. I'm not sure if it's a thing that should be done, but let's keep going. Branding expert. I'm not maybe that's interesting. I like that. Both of them are saying branding expert. They have the exact same title, which is interesting. All three have the exact same title, so you can see that copying other people's titles can be a really good, powerful strategy. So maybe you could try to do the same with sports logos, but for me, I've learned that just following the structures of people who are even more successful in other niches tend to give better results than copying the other people in your exact niche. But maybe it doesn't apply to Upwork as much as it applies on other platforms. But my strategy has proven to work in the past, so I'm going to keep sticking with it. So logo design, logo designer, and branding expert. I liked the other one because this one gives us keywords that make it clear what we're selling. We're not just selling logo, we're selling like something specific. So I'm going to say you will get modern, minimalist, sports logo. They're using capital letters on all first words, so I'm going to change all the first letters of all the words in capital letters. And then business logo design, maybe I'm going to just write something like sports brand logo design. How many more characters? I think I did one character too many for what's allowed, which is a bit annoying. I'm going to change sports here for just sport, and now we have a full title that could work rather well. So let's see if it looks like what the people are using in the sports niche. So a unique and modern minimalist business logo, it's interesting because he's not following the same principles that the most successful people in this niche are using. It's not the same type of title. So I think we have a chance to be successful in this niche. Let's say I was actually trying to sell logos and not just showing you how it's done, but some of you can just steal the work that I'm doing here if you want to sell sports logos. I really don't care. You can do that if you want. Unique, modern, minimalist, luxury brand logo with limited revisions. It's not really sports related, but whatever. Sometimes search engines are weird. So more modern basketball, baseball, sports fishing. That's interesting because the guy earlier, that's the project he was selling. And I like the fact that it exposes the fact that being really specific can be interesting. He's just keyword stuffing like the people earlier. Let's see if there's more people who are actually talking about specifically types of sports. So basketball, and I'm not seeing really types of sports, but it seems like it was working for him. So I feel good about changing my my title. I think there's already too much keywords that are talking about logo design. So maybe I'm going to remove logo designer here. Just keep logo design and remove design here since we already have that keyword, and just say like something like maybe hockey. No, I'm just going to steal the same sports that he's using because I have no proof that hockey is going to work better, although I can look at the names of the sports and maybe I can try to find sports that are more popular. And so based on that, I can guess that maybe it's going to be more successful. So he's using basketball, baseball, sports fishing. Maybe I'm going to do football. Like, what are the most successful sports? I don't know. I think judo is one of the most, maybe martial arts. Or maybe it feels weird that you have football with martial arts. So maybe I'll do like football and baseball. I guess with that, we have a title that has a lot of keywords that we can rank for a lot of really qualified customers. So let's use this. Categories. So is there a way I can see the categories that they're using? I think I'm going to go look at the people who are most successful in logo design for sports to see which categories they're using. Clearly, this guy is at least moderately successful. This guy, it looks like he's had 500, so 100. So now I'm going to look at I don't know. It's hard to say if these people are really that successful at logo design for sports. This guy, 437, there's a good chance that he's doing a good job. Yeah, I'm going to look at this guy first to see like what categories he's using, if it allows us to see it. So categories. Okay, industry. That's going to be later. Okay. Categories. Yeah, I don't think it tells us, so we're gonna have to find it by ourselves. So let's say logo design. Let's use what seems most appropriate. So we said minimalist earlier, and let's say we give ourselves more chance to appear in search results by choosing other things that we could add, like geometric and maybe like hand-drawn. So industry, we do know what industries he is targeting, so we can use this to be able to get the same, to rank for the same keywords and allow our project to be seen by the people who search for the same things that people search to find his one. So education, fashion and beauty. That's curious. It has really nothing to do with this, but let's assume this guy's successful. He knows what he's doing. Let's not try to reinvent the wheel if he's successful. And let's see if the other guys have other keywords that seem valuable and interesting. Industry. Oh, this guy is using a lot of different industries. I'm curious to see like the most successful people in this niche, how they're doing this. If they're using a bunch of keywords as well, if they're including as many industries as they can. So it's probably the best practice to appear as much as possible right now based on the algorithm. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to find the 10 things that seems the most valuable and relevant right now. So maybe we're going to do something like I don't really know. I guess I'm just going to trust the other guy that he's chosen the right things and just use the same ones that these guys are already using. So which ones are they using? Where do we see that? I had it earlier. Let's see the other guy. Okay. Aerospace, that's really weird. Automotive, we already have that one. I guess aviation. Art and design makes sense, I suppose. Food and beverage, sure, fair enough. HR, yeah, I guess that's going to be fine. I'm not sure about aerospace. Maybe there's something more relevant. I guess tech and IT, there's probably some sports-based companies that are in tech and IT, for example, like special helmet makers or that sort of thing, maybe. Or maybe like Taekwondo vest, where they have like electronics in there to feel when people get kicked, or I don't know. It feels good to me. So file format. This guy looks like he's included all of them. So let's see the most successful. The most successful look like they include all of them. So let's follow the trend. It looks like, the algorithm for Project Catalog is still new and young, so Strategies like this maybe won't work in a couple of years, but right now, if they work, like there's no easier way to be successful than just following this simple brain dead strategy. So search tags, we're not going to be able to find that here, but what I like doing is just using ChatGPT. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste the description of the project of the guys who are successful in logo design, and I'm going to ask some keyword recommendations that ChatGPT can give me. So I'm not going to do the three guys. I think you can do that for yourself and decide for yourself which keywords you want to keep, but I'm just going to do it for one guy to show you how it can work. So I'm going to say like make me a list of keywords I can choose as tags in my Upwork project catalog project that is inspired by this project made by my direct competitor. The following text is the description of his project. And then let's ask ChatGPT to give me tags. Really simple. Oh, here's a list of things that can be interesting. So I don't know how many characters. We have max 5 tags, so I'm just going to filter out like what seems most appropriate. Let's see. Usually with tags, what you want to do is you want to use tags that don't already include keywords that you've already included in like your title. So I'm going to see if there are some that are relevant with, okay, high quality, professional. Professional seems interesting, so I'm going to use it. And then I'm going to use unique sports logos, maybe. I'm trying to find some search terms that clients might decide to use. I don't think many clients are searching for tailored logo solutions, so I'm not going to use that. Sports team branding seems perfect. Professional branding, yep. And maybe club logo design or team logo design. Team, yeah, team seems interesting for sports. Oh, I have 100 characters max. That's annoying. So let's remove professional branding and just keep these 4 ones. I think that's the best set that we have. Let's click save and continue. So pricing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out the people who are successful at selling this in my niche and how much they're selling it for. And I'm going to model what they're doing. So 30, 60, 120, okay. 20, 40, 75, 60, 90, 120. So I'm sort of seeing some sort of pattern that the advanced tier should be like 120. So 120. Next, let's see, like let's make an average of these 3. Like it could be pretty good. Like 65 seems like a good average of these 3. And how about the starter package? So I guess something like 40 seems like a good average of these 3. You can adjust this based on how much hours that it takes you, or adjust the what you give to give less, so that you can still make the amount of money that you want. But if you charge low, like you can offer less things for that. But let's assume for now that I can deliver as much as these guys are delivering, and I'm just going to see what they're offering in the tier. So tier options. Okay, so these are the things that are offered by this guy for all these tiers. This guy is offering, okay, he has different tier packages. This guy seems to have the same sort of package. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep like the things that both of them are offering and just keep the rest and do similar things. Like this is the commonality between both of them. So it seems like a good way to do it. And obviously, like if these are things that you can't offer, like don't offer them. But you know, this is the easiest way to model what's working, is to do what's working if you can do it. So choose add-ons. Okay, so add-ons, let's see their pricing for the add-ons. Like these are obviously like market rates, because you know these are like some of the 20-ish guys selling this, so they're really good people to look at for this. So the other ones don't have add-ons. Okay, this one has add-ons. This one has add-ons as well. Okay, so let's do. Okay, this one has 3D mockup for an extra $15 and maybe like one additional day or whatever to give yourself time. And the other one, how much is he? No, he's not offering this. Let's just offer all the things that these two guys are offering. Maybe that sounds like a good option. Okay, so fast delivery. Whatever, you can see how this is done. Very simple. And if there's things that you don't know how to do, like just don't include them and just follow this sort of process. Save and continue. Okay, yeah, I need to have titles. So let's see how they do their titles. So starter, standard, advanced. So really not complicated. It's working for them. Great. Let's see what's working in the top people in the logo design space. Like how are they doing? They're also using starter, advanced, and standard. So let's not use custom titles. Let's remove custom titles and descriptions by clicking, there's text here that says remove custom titles and descriptions. I just click that. It's going to be kept at starter, standard, and advanced, and it works for them. So let's see what the delivery days are for my direct competitors. So delivery time for starter is 2 days, standard 3 and 4. How about this guy? And you can see how it's done. It's very simple. This guy is 2 days anyway. I like the other guy who has like more days. I think it makes more sense. Number of revisions, unlimited. Okay, that's kind of dangerous. I don't like offering unlimited revisions. All of these guys are offering unlimited. I still don't like that as a business practice. I think I'm going to follow these guys who are offering just 3 revisions. It makes just more sense as a business practice to not get taken advantage of. Revisions are basically free changes that you offer the client if they're not satisfied with the product. I think 3 is absolutely reasonable. Even then at the price that we're offering, I'd probably offer like I'd charge more money for the 3 revisions. So maybe like my starter package is going to have 2 instead. Number of initial concepts, these guys have 2. 2 is lower than what I used to do in when I worked at a web agency. But if this guy's successful with 2, that's awesome. And yeah, these guys, let's do like 2, 3, 3, and 4, I guess. And so I have my service tiers here. Let's just save and continue. Okay, project image. This is the thing that most people are going to be struggling with. It's actually not that difficult once you have the tools to be able to do it. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to build a project image really quick with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the types of things that are working in the niche. So here you can see this is working really well. This person's made like 3,965. They got like that amount of reviews, and it's a very simple image format, and it looks very similar to what the other really successful person has done. So it's basically a list of different boxes with different background colors onto which you put your logos. So one of the ways you can do that is just open it's a very simple thing that you can do. So you can open Canva, Canva. Obviously, if you're doing logos, you can create your own logos. You can probably use Photoshop, but let's assume you don't do that. I don't know what this pop-up is and why it opened, but this is annoying. Okay, let's create a design. I like using Instagram post, which is square. I think it's a good option that we have. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find like what is the approximate size that we can have our canvas. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I guess, save this image so I can just copy and paste it, just so I have the format on my Canva. So Canva is basically Photoshop for people who are not tech people. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to upload this to my Canva, not to copy it, but just like to see like what's my canvas size on Canva. Sorry for that weird pun. Okay, let's stop it. Let's remove that. I want to like center it so that I can see. No, I'm not going to center it actually. I'm going to put this at the top, and then we're going to. You're going to see later how we're going to crop this in our actual project. So here you can see what this person does is just like 4 different boxes. So I'm going to follow this sort of design format. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to elements and we're going to find shapes, as you can see here. So, you know, at the left you have all your different tabs. So I click on elements, and here at the middle of this options menu, there's shapes. I like using squares. So what I'm going to use is these squares. I'm just going to put them at the exact same place that this person has put their squares. I'm going to put 4 of them so that I can do a similar type of design. And there we go. So now I'm going to change the colors of them so I can make something similar. If I remember correctly, like they had like white at the top left, white at the bottom right, and then there's different colors here that can be done. Let's see how they did this. I'm not going to take the same color. I'm probably, you know, I've worked with a lot of sports brands, so I'm actually going to use colors that sports brands use more. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So it was a color at the bottom and black at the top right, or blackish. So let's just use some dark brown or dark gray or something like that. Let's see if I have a sample color that can be pretty good. This is the color they use. Let's just change the color a little bit. And yeah, this seems perfect for our needs. So this, I'm going to use red because from a lot of gyms that I've worked with, red and this sort of gray blackish is one of their like ideal color schemes. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use another one as my margin at the bottom, and let's just make it like completely black. So here I have my basic format, and then I just add my logos that I built as a logo designer on top of it to make a similar design to what they did. You know, if it was something more intricate, like maybe I was doing some thing in web development, and you know, if I saw, for example, that let's see actually another example of how to do it. Like I think if you're a logo designer, you're going to be able to upload your logos and do something similar to this really easily. You've seen how it's done with Canva, basically how it's a simple Photoshop. But let's do something like more intricate. Let's say you are some sort of web developer. So let's say you're a web developer, you can see the sort of images that they have. And let's say we try to find some sort of design that is something that we can replicate something similar. So for example, you know, these 2 designs, the one here at the left and the one down here, it looks like it's a proven design that's worked for many people. So I can do something similar. So it's something that, you know, with a face of the person at the right, with text at the left, and something similar to this. I'm going to show you a really easy, simple way to do something that looks like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open Canva again and create a new page. I'm just going to make it blank. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep actually the black at the bottom because it's cool to have that margin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go at the top left of this category box, and we have design. And designs are basically templates that we can use on Canva to make something really good looking. So let's say it's web development. I'm just going to write something like tech. And here we have different designs that are pre-made, and I can just look to find designs that look similar to what is successful on Upwork. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this in this tab right here so that we have them both simultaneously visible on the screen, so I can see, look at what the other people are doing and what sort of design at the left looks similar. And what I'm noticing is that there seems to be this design at the bottom left here that's very similar to what people are doing, but it's not quite what a lot of people are doing. It's very similar, but not quite. I think this one is kind of similar to others that we've seen. Yeah, it's not the same colors, but this one seems to be similar. It's a pro design. No, I want a free design. Let's choose another one. I don't want to spend money on this. You can spend money on this if you want. There's no problem with it. This one, would this work pretty well? Let's keep going. There was one more at the top that I kind of liked. Let's use this one. Good. So I'm going to copy and paste my margin over it again. Now I'm just going to move the elements in place once I've found a design I want to sort of emulate that I've seen earlier. Like basic template, for example. Like we saw earlier that there was a template of these women that had their face at the right. Maybe we can do something like that. So let's remove this robot that doesn't really matter for us. Let's just go to my uploads. I have different pictures of my face. Let's go to old uploads where I used to crop my backgrounds using like Photoshop or other tools. Like there's apps that can do that for you if you don't know how to use Photoshop to remove the backgrounds and photos that you take. But here's a photo of me. Maybe it's not the perfect photo, but I think it's going to do well for this sort of design. So what I'm going to do is like frame it in a way that's very similar to what they're doing. So here it looks like some framing that's very similar to this. And most of the space is taken by the text. So here, I like this one who has a very simple text that's easy to replicate. So they say full stack developer. For me, like I'm a front-end developer, so I could say like something like front-end developer, or maybe more specific, like landing page designer, or like whatever you're selling, whatever your niche is. And then I can see that they don't have like this at the top. So let's remove, maybe I can increase it in size to make something that looks good. I'm just going to add some transparency. And yeah, it gives some sort of texture in the back, which is not too distasteful. Maybe it's too visible still. Let's make it smaller. Yeah, not too distasteful. I kind of like the effect it's giving. So let's follow her example. The type of text that she's using, front-end developer. The first line is in color, so let's do something similar because maybe it's a good thing to do. In the absence of having good reasons to not follow what people who are successful are doing, it's more intelligent to just follow what successful people are doing. So here I have a good orange that looks good with the rest, and then front end web developer. I think that's sort of what she wrote here. Let's increase the size of the text so that we cover the whole space. And then it seems to have buttons at the bottom. I can create easily button-like elements by using shapes like that. So maybe I can create some sort of button at the bottom here. I'm going to use another color that I haven't used so far so that you can stand out. So what would look good with blue and orange? Maybe my girlfriend's so much better at choosing colors than I am, but let's use needs to pop. It needs to pop, and red doesn't look really good. Purple doesn't pop enough. Yeah, I think that pale blue might work. So let's use this. I'm going to use text again. I'm just going to copy this text by doing Control C, Control V, like you would copy text in Word. Let's erase that right here. Oh, I don't want to change it. Move that. Let's make this smaller and in another font. Let's use Canvas Sans. I don't like the fact that it's in all caps, so I'm going to click on the uppercase button at the top right here to turn it into normal text. I'm going to fit it to the button. Actually, I'm going to remove that background. I'm just going to use a different option. I'm going to click on my text. I'm going to click on effects at the top, and I'm going to click on background. And here I can create a background with the roundness that I want and the spread that I want, and I have basically more control over it. I'm just going to add a space before and after my text so that it makes the button a little bit wider. And I'm going to move my button, and I'm going to change the color of the background to make something, I kind of like it in black. It looks kind of good. But yeah, maybe this is better. And I'm going to change the color of the text by clicking at the A at the top here that says text color, and I'm going to put it black. So here I have something that has been done really quickly that still looks rather fine. Here, let's put it in bold and maybe in italics. No, it looks bad in italics. So here, once you're done with your design and you're satisfied with it, you can just click share at the top right, and then you can scroll down if my Canva is not going to lag. You know, I'm using a Chromebook, and Canva really doesn't like my Chromebook. It really doesn't. Oh, there's the download button. Okay, I was just stupid. I just didn't see it. Okay, so I'm just going to download the page that I want to use for my design. You know, obviously, like, you know, I just made some image for web development while we're building something for logos. Obviously, like, if you're doing something for logos, you want to use an image based on logos, but let's assume that I've built the right image for whatever I did. Like, my goal here was just to show you the overall process that you can use to build a design rather easily. You know, it's not that easy, but it's much easier than Photoshop. And it's not that hard once you get used to Canva. So here, let's download it. Now that once it's downloaded, I'm going to go back to the project catalog on Upwork. Let's close this tab. We don't need to go on Canva anymore. So here, project image, it asks us to drag an image here. So let's click on browse and add our image. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the visible window over my thing at the top, and as you can see, because we've used the other image as our guide, we can have an image that's exactly the right size. So here, let's upload it. Oh, logo style, let's say we're doing some minimalist logo, because, you know, a lot of people building logos have logos visible in their image, so, you know. Okay, so here we have our image as project cover. If you want to include videos, you can, but most people don't, and it's absolutely unnecessary. Sample documents, I'm not sure other people are doing it in my niche. Let's see. It doesn't look like they are, so let's just skip that by clicking continue. Okay, requirements. Requirements are what we ask the clients, what we need the client to send us so we can start the project. This is something that I don't want to actually look at what my competitors are doing. I want to actually ask myself, what do I need? So let's say I was doing a logo design. I would need to ask the client like what kind of logos they like, what kind of brands maybe that they like, and what kind of image they want for their brand. Ask the types of questions that you need to be guided in your process. Maybe ask the clients like what kind of colors that they're already using, what kind of colors they might like, and all the questions that you need to get started. So here you can create these requirements that you're going to ask the client. And ideally, you want these questions to answer as many of your questions as possible so that you don't have to waste a lot of time communicating with the clients. So you can change the type of answer that you want. You can just make multiple choice questions so that the client can't answer whatever they want, or you can ask the client to send you a file directly. So you have a lot of options on how you do your requirements, but for the sake of this video, let me just do something very simple and just say like, what colors do you like, or what colors do you feel would represent your brand the best? Let's say this is a mandatory requirement, and let's add it. And you can add a multitude of these requirements. For now, let's just say I save and continue. And then you need to add a project summary. So how do you write your project summary? First of all, you need to understand that the project summary is not just for the customers. It's also something for the search engine, and whatever you write can influence how much you appear in search results. And a lot of customers don't really read all the project description. So what I recommend is looking at how the freelancers in the most successful, the most successful logo designers, how they're doing their project description. Okay, so they're starting with a line of text that is clearly including a lot of keywords: unique logo design, branding, business company, social media, or website. Like, okay, maybe I can do a similar sentence to start. I think this is a good way to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a similar sentence, but I'm going to do it for sports. So looking for a professional logo, design and branding for your sports company, sports team, football team, or baseball team. I think those were the keywords that we were targeting earlier. Maybe we're going to find better keywords that I can include in our competitors. Sports team, club logo. Let's just use some of the examples he's using. He's got good keywords. Club logo. What else is he using that could be good? Yeah, I think this is pretty good. So looking for a professional logo design, like I think we were focusing on selling minimalist. So I'm going to add minimalist here as a keyword. Minimalist professional logo design seems pretty good. So here we started with a strong start. Then let's see what else the people who are successful are doing in terms of structure. So, okay, this person's talking about themselves. Okay, this is not really helping in the algorithm, and it's not really selling the client. So I think this person blundered here, but that doesn't really matter. Okay. Our flat minimal logo designs are the perfect solution for your company. My reviews speak for themselves. Okay, this is sales. I can't really replicate that because I don't have reviews on my profile, so let's skip that. We provide, okay, this is pretty good. I provide, and then you make a list of the things that you provide. I like that. Multiple logo concepts. I can do that. Maybe I could be more specific and write 3, or maybe like, yeah, multiple is a good word. Maybe then I can do, I don't do unlimited revisions, but I can say multiple revisions. So to make sure you are satisfied with your sports brand logo. And then you can add other things that you provide, either your advantages, like the things that you're doing better than other people. You can go through this sort of process, looking at all these different descriptions to see like what is applicable to you and what looks good and what works. And, you know, ideally you want to try to find things that either that ideally you want things that are used by a lot of people, so that you have a higher likelihood that it's actually things that work, and not things that don't really work that well but are there in the middle no matter what, because that person thought that it would be good even though it's not necessarily good. But, you know, if a lot of people are using the same thing, it's probably because it works. Otherwise, you can use your feelings and feel that this seems like a good thing to sell. Like, this seems like a powerful statement. You can use these sorts of statements in your own and build your own customized project summary based on what you see that you like and what seems to work in the summaries of other people. So then you need to do project steps. So project steps, you have to include steps, absolutely. So let's see what steps these person are using. Can we see that? I thought you could see that, but who cares? Who cares? Let's just do our steps ourselves. So maybe step 1 is I will send you the preliminary sketches and you will choose your favorite. Then step number 2, I will create 3 variations of the logo sketch you preferred. I will create a final version of the variation you preferred. And then I will revise the final version until you like it, or something like that. Very simple process. Then frequently asked questions. Can we see that? What questions are frequently asked to these people? Yes, you can see what questions that are frequently asked to them, or, you know, maybe they're using these questions for SEO purposes. So you could just use the same questions, or create your own question based on what you see on their project, and then write your own answers for that, or create composite answers by looking at what is good in all the different answers that these people give. And then once you're done doing your frequently asked questions, save and exit. Oh, no, that was the wrong button. I should have clicked on save and continue. Regardless. So let's click on edit project at the top right to keep continuing the creation of the project. So yeah, you click, okay, they took me back at the first page. Let's click at this button here to go back to the description where we were at. Save and continue. So here we're at the final page. So here we can tell Upwork how many projects that we can do at the same time without being overwhelmed. So what this says is, hey, Upwork, here's the maximum projects that I can take at the same time. If more people want to pay for this project while I have already this amount of clients, they can't by the project, which means that you will never be overwhelmed. So it makes sure that you only work the amount of time that you want to work, by having the amount of clients that you want to have. So let's say I want to have 5 clients at the same time maximum. Let's write that. And then you need to accept their privacy policy and terms of service. And then you click submit for review. For me, I'm going to click save project instead because it's not a real project. But once you click submit for review, it's going to take a couple of days before Upwork actually looks at your project, make sure that it's in line with their terms of service. And if you didn't do anything that's against their terms of service, your project is going to be live and visible, and so clients are going to be able to find your project. So I hope this showed you how, well, it's not the simplest way to find jobs ever, but it's not that hard if you just know how to look at other projects and just use your common sense to figure out what seems to work, what seems good, and just create something that is based on what works in the market, instead of doing what most people do, which is try to figure out of their own mind what probably works without looking at what already works. Like instead, like you want to model what already works. It's so much easier to build good stuff by modeling what's already working. So yeah, follow this process, trust yourself, and you're going to see it's not that hard. So I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next videos. Take care.